What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors and entrepreneurs alike and the cryptocurrency world where crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. So welcome along. We're pumped to have you guys. You guys make the show what it is. So once again, we're glad you're here. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely, Corey here. Just truly blessed to be with all you people on this journey where we're going to use crypto as a wealth creation tool and use real estate as a wealth preservation tool. And it's just been such a blast with you guys these last couple of years. There's been a lot of ups and downs. And right now I feel like we're in a sideways type channel, which is a lot of fun leading up into the Bitcoin halving, giving us, the last chance to accumulate our most favorite assets. Hopefully we stay in this zone for another, and I would love it, another month or even 2 months, so I could keep accumulating before we start really taking off. But if we were to take off, I'm okay with that too, because I've already got my bags packed. And so that's just the greedy part of me that wants to get a little bit more. So there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it's just been a blast. And you guys are absolutely amazing. We feel like you are the best community in crypto, and that's not even close. That you guys are amazing, and like Dane said, you guys do make the show today, every day. And so and guys, for quick housekeeping, we won't be here for the remainder of the week. We fly out tomorrow to go speak at another real estate event over in Dallas, Texas, and so we won't be back until Monday next week, and then we should be back. We should be back for the remainder of the year. Although I do leave on the 19th, Dane. I'm going back to Arizona on the 19th of December, so I can spend Christmas down with my family. And I'll be back in Arizona actually for a couple months before heading back here to Puerto Rico. So I'm looking forward to that. To actually feel cold again. Like, it's not cold here. Like, it doesn't get cold. It's so weird. It's like 85 degrees out today with humidity. I'm just like, it's a different world. That's for sure.
It's cold here in Utah, man. It's cold.
Oh, I bet, man. Are you guys getting snow yet?
Yep.
You are? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Man, I can't wait. Yeah. I see and go skiing. That's probably my buddy Chris. He's actually in our mastermind. If we got some snow there, Chris, in Arizona, I will be heading up to Flag, hopefully a couple of different times to get some skiing in, because that's going to be the last I'm going to be getting in if I come back to Puerto Rico, because, man, I'm so far from snow out here. It's funny, man. A lot of the locals here have never even seen snow. Like, they've never seen it. They don't know what it feels like. And it's not uncommon to have, people. I have that conversation with a lot of these people out here, and they've never experienced it before, and it's crazy when you think about it. So yeah.
Red Squirrel says that it was -3 Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? Let me see.
Cold, bro.
It's cold. 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's about what it is in Utah here. Yep, it's cold. Mm-hmm. We set up ours. So I got it's actually really cool. I bought it last year. It's a blow up hot tub. I couldn't get myself to pay like 10 to 15K for a regular one to warm up some water during the winter months. I was like, man, I just can't get myself to do it. But at Costco for like $600, you can get a blow up one, and it blows bubbles. I mean, the whole shebang. We freaking love it. Like, me and the kids, we get in there every single night during the winter, and it's excellent. I can get them off the screens, and that's one of my favorite things about the cold weather.
And how much was that again?
It's only like $600.
Oh, wow! Yeah. And how many? Is this your second season on it, or how many seasons have?
This is my second. Yeah, I don't know if it'll make it another one. We had some.
That's what I'm like.
Last season, yeah.
How long was something like that last you? Versus, obviously, if you bought the $15,000 one, that would probably last you, 10 seasons, if not more. But then again, I mean, who knows if you're going to even be in Utah next season? right? And we don't know. Right? We're still thinking about maybe you coming out here, and I don't know if you'd want to be in a hot tub out here.
No, it's too warm. You want to get in the ocean to cool off.
You want to get in the ocean to cool off. Exactly.
Right. Right. Oh yeah, just the start of the winter. Right. Yeah, Arizona's wild. You can go snow skiing and water skiing in the same day. Yeah, it's wild.
You can but like that's a far drive from Flagstaff to I mean, ideally you want to go to like the Salt River lakes. That's where I like going water skiing. Canyon Lake, Apache Lake. Those are two of my favorite lakes to water ski. Well, you could do it though, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, so I was thinking yesterday I had a conversation with one of the guys in or I was talking with, long story short, one of the people that that I've helped do some stuff in crypto, get in the Pulsechain ecosystem, and she's lost hope. She said that after the SEC case that and the price tanked, she's like, I don't think that it's ever going to do anything. I think we've pretty well lost our money, right? And it's interesting because you and I, Corey, are using lots of things as gauges to be able to determine where we're at in the market, where sentiment is at from no coiners and retail, and what a contrarian play still is and what is not. And as much as I'm hopeful for her that she can hold on and be patient, it speaks to the fact that Pulsechain is still a contrarian play, which has me excited about it. I like that. The only way to be able to get mad gains is to be able to buy things when everybody is fearful, and be patient and do your best to do your due diligence to offset your risk, and then place a bet in faith and see if you're right. And you see it today. Like, it's really fascinating to go to real estate conferences, and everybody says that if they could go back to 2010, 11, and 12, that they would buy all the real estate that they possibly could. But the reason that they say that is because they have the surety that price came back and the price went up substantially, right? Like, of course, if you had surety that, things were going to go great, of course, you would go buy things when they were on a discount. And that's the nature of being an investor, is you've got to have the stones to be able to place bets when there isn't surety, when you don't know if things are going to come back. And so I thought it'd be an interesting topic today to talk about, in our opinions, how you could spot a reasonable contrarian bet and one that is not a good contrarian bet. What do you think about that idea, Corey?
Yeah, I like it, man. And some of the things you said earlier, we see indicators, and we're looking for things that gives us that there is basically the right place. And I will tell you one indicator that I look at every day that I know I'm in the right place, that I know that we have the potential that we have here, is the community. So everyone in the chat here, everyone, watching our show. We have 4 members watching our show right now live. Guys, hit the like, hit the bell notification, subscribe if it's your first time here. We love everyone here. You guys make the show. And it's the community that gives me, I would say at the end of the day, the most assurity that I'm in the right place. And I'm pretty sure the woman you're talking to, or the lady you're talking to yesterday, if you onboard Pulsechain, what is she doing to go out and see if there's any indicators that there's life still in the ecosystem? All she sees is the right, like the headline news. Richard Hart's being sued by the SEC. He's on the run now. Like, you see all this, like, he's not on the run. Like, I had someone yesterday, Dane, say, man, is Richard Hart really on the run? I'm like, he's not on the run. They've not been able to serve him. That does not mean he's not on the run. Like, the guy is one of the richest guys. He can live anywhere he wants in the world. He can travel wherever he wants. I mean, it's the SEC's ability been able to serve him. There's not been like any proof that he's dodging the SEC per se, right? And so, like, you see these headline news and you see that, people talking about it. And of course, there's a lot of the haters. They're everywhere, man. They're all over crypto, talking against Richard Hart. I mean, some of these haters want to see Richard Hart go to jail. It's absolutely absurd. And and these people who are looking from the outside in to the crypto space see this, and so they're not doing the due diligence and homework and diving deep. They don't see the community we see, and so Sami likes to talk about all the time how there's 160 influencers who stream about this ecosystem on the regular. And that's just like, 160 megaphones out there screaming about this ecosystem. And so it's just the whole network effect that comes from that when retail starts entering into the space. I'm very assured. Now, does that mean that we can get more volatility? Yeah, if like a DJ were to hit Richard, will we see some red candles? You betcha, you would. And so there is a lot of like risk but that's crypto. That is why we get so many gains because the risk that we're taking and going into this. So that's a little bit of where I get my surety from, though. You're on mute.
Thank you. I was telling you yesterday, every once in a while I have some doubt creep in, and then I go watching all the Richard Hart stream, and I'm like, man, I don't know how you bet against the guy. I really don't. And in addition to what you're saying is the builders building. Like if there was no one building, then I think that it might be a fair take to say like Pulsechain and some of that stuff is dead, and Richard's probably the only one that could resurrect it. But you have the community, intact. You have the builders building. You have Richard is going to do whatever Richard's going to do, and man, if you didn't have those things, those signs pointing to there being something here, then I think it makes sense to rotate out. But gosh, with all that stuff going on and the price, I think that the price is not reflecting the strength of the community, and it's not reflecting yet the all of the cool things being built for Pulsechain. It speaks to opportunity. You can buy something when it's cheap, and you and I have bought our fair share. So that's my take in how to spot a contrarian play versus not. Is there actually things going on outside of the eco chamber of FUD? And in Pulsechain, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. We're having, I think it's happening as we speak. We're having the 9mm V3 liquidity that's launching specifically for Pulsechain. This is huge news because we know bigger money, when they provide liquidity, they like these type of tools. They want to be able to choose between a V2 or a V3, depending on what their goals are on what, when they're providing liquidity. They can choose their ranges with V3 liquidity. And this, it just launched today, or literally as this show is going on. There's a live Twitter room right now. So a Twitter party, 9mm V3 launch. So there's a great example of we're very much alive and things are coming to fruition. And I bet you if I were to go look in that Twitter room, there'd probably be 60, 100, maybe even 150 people in there listening and celebrating the 9mm V3 liquidity launch. I mean, this is and we're seeing this over and over and over and over, more and more stuff. Yeah, that's a very good point you make, Dane, is that one of the biggest indicators is the building that's happening. I really feel like and I've said this before, that the builders picked up Pulsechain. They put that bull by the horns when that bull got shot. And they're dragging it through, man. The builders are dragging it. Yeah. And so that can come back to life again and start kicking again. I mean, the builders are really, man, what did it for us. I believe that wholeheartedly, through and through. If it was, and I'm sorry to say this, guys, I love Hex, but if it was just Hex on Pulsechain and that was it, I don't think we'd have made it, guys. I really don't think we'd have made it. And I could be wrong about that, but I'm Yeah, I think the builders saved our ass. We're at Squirrel in the chat. That reminds me of Tetra, right? That's coming out. We
In
already
fact,
have their
look what he says here. I think this is an excellent comment.
Imagine automating V3 liquidity. It will be like a limit order that has a range with fees on top.
Oh, geez, it's a crypto wet dream.
Oh man, there you go, man. And we're innovating and building stuff. Okay, so Tetra is very innovative. I feel like Tetra could be like the sleeping giant that brings over like adoption the way GMX brought over adoption to Arbitrum. It was very innovative, very new, shiny toy that no one's ever seen before. I think Tetra has that capability. I really do. It's just, hey, how about you automate everything you do in crypto and it runs on your own? You can go live your life. Like that's a selling point, man, like no other. And we just see some really cool stuff, man, being built. Like I didn't like the what's it called? They just did NFTs. The crypto bum, the NFT. It's a creator. You can go there and create your own NFTs. I can't remember what it's. NFT generator or something. I've never seen nothing like that before. Maybe it is somewhere else. Maybe it's over on Ethereum. And if you guys know if that's done before, let me know in the comments. I would like to know. But my personal experience in crypto, and I was involved a little bit with NFTs in the last market cycle over on ETH and on Solana. I didn't see nothing like that before where I can go in there and create my own NFT collection. We have that. NFT on Pulse created an NFT generator, which is really cool to me. I'm like, what the heck? That's why I bought some crypto bum when sale because I wanted some exposure into that protocol because I felt like it was very innovative and very cutting edge. At least for me, it was, and I could be wrong. Maybe it's already existed on Solana or something that I just don't know about it. But either way, man, it's super, super cool. I know Sloth, if he's watching, he's creating his NFT. He's doing a bunch of NFTs, and he's going to create it there in the NFT generator. And so just stuff like that. It's just, I'm every single day when I'm researching and reading, learning about the protocols being built, I get impressed.
Agreed 100%. Yeah, Sprack's not wrong. The stakes are absolutely, they're extremely high. And yeah, great point. Yeah, Pulse was never supposed to be only for Hex, although the maxis may think different. This is why Ari copied the entire system state to allow all projects to benefit from the ecosystem. Exactly.
Boom, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Fight some heads on that one.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good question. Yeah. Besides Liquid Loans, Tetra, and Power City, what other upcoming projects are you excited about? Yeah, I mean, what do you have, Court? And those are the ones that I'm most excited about because they're, for me, well, for the community, they're some of the biggest sacrifices, at least Liquid Loans. Power City raised their fair amount of capital. So, I think it'll be really interesting. I'm curious to see, some people are of the mind that Liquid Loans is really going to pump up the Pulsechain price with like things like the haunting strategy. Yeah, I have my doubts about that. I'm interested to see though.
I have my doubts about the strategy itself, but I don't have my doubt about everyone in the ecosystem falling for the narrative and doing it.
Sure. I think it's a good take.
Yeah, I think it can, man. I think it really can start to pump up the price a little bit, and people, it's very interesting. As far as those three are, obviously Tetra is probably the most exciting to me if I were to pick out of those three. Even though they all have their own little things they're trying to do, but alone just a copy. Right, it's just a fork of liquidity. I'm saying that right. It's just a fork of liquidity, and great for our ecosystem, and but it's not innovative. Power City kind of is the way they're trying to bring a bunch of different stuff together, and then like you have the core where you stake your Watt tokens, or initially when it launched, you'll get an NFT and your Watt tokens are already staked with a 2x multiple. So like it's innovative in a way that they're trying to bring a whole entire ecosystem in itself. It's like 5 different protocols built by Power City, and then like it's tied in with the core. And so it's innovative in that regard. But like nothing is innovative, in my opinion, like Tetra. That is out the left field. Let's hit that ball. And if we make this work right, it's going to be a freaking home run. And if we screw it up, the foul ball, we lose the game. Like it is some serious stuff. And if they pull that off, and I think they will, I got high hopes. I'm an investor in it. So that shows you my faith. I vote with my money, guys. I vote with my dollars. And I voted for Tetra. So we'll see what happens. But if they pull it off, every single protocol on Pulsechain better watch out, because that will be the sleeping giant that will rise from the ashes, and it's gonna take over if they pull this off. So it's gonna be super fun.
Yep. Outside of this stuff up and coming, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I don't like to spread myself too thin. I like to go real heavy into the things that I like, and I don't own a ton of stuff. And so I'm patiently waiting to see how some of this other stuff performs out of the gate. Everything that has had a sacrifice beyond like Tetra, the raise was very small, or something like Fiat that had a cap on their raise, or even Fame has done fine. Everything else has gotten slaughtered. And so
Pity is the other one still up on its sack amount.
Okay.
This is another one. Yeah, there's not a lot though, Dane. You're right. There isn't a lot.
So some of these guys that raise a good chunk of cash.
The up token. The up token was a sacrifice.
Was it? How much did they raise? Do you know?
I don't know what they raised initially.
I don't think it was much, which is why the price could actually go up.
That makes sense, right? That's right. Yeah, I'm a little worried about the liquid loans. What is it, $50 million? And I guess maybe a third of that is taken out for the 2 years. I'm a portion of that, unfortunately. But like that's still a lot of sell pressure. And that's money. You got to remember. So that's money that was given in the mid of the bull run when Hex was somewhere anywhere from 15 cents up to 30 cents, right? Anywhere in that range, that's where Hex was at. Plus all the other assets in the crypto universe was doing well. So if people, like, for example, people sold Solana to go and participate. They were selling Solana it was a 3-digit number. Solana at the last market cycle was like $250 a coin. So like, people sold or they sacrificed crypto. This was the last bull market with liquid loans, that $50 million. So like, it's like they froze their assets in time, and now they're getting those assets unlocked again. And that's why you got to look at it. That liquidity, that value is still there. They were frozen in time, whole bear market. What's going to happen? They're going to sell. So, yeah.
At least that's what they've been doing so far, yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope I'm so wrong on this and I missed the mark. I will be so happy. I would be. I would be celebrating with all the liquid loan guys. I just don't see it. Just because we've seen the proof is in the pudding with all these other sacrifices. We've seen it time and time again.
Yep, it's true. We actually might be. I don't necessarily. I wish that we wouldn't have locked our liquid loan tokens for 2 years for some extra coins. But if the market still might be decent enough at that point when the coins do come unlocked, you might get a little bit of value out of that. I'm interested.
You better run and not walk.
Well, that day, can you imagine the candle?
Yeah, you have so much money unlocking that day at the same time. I mean, that's when Godwell's stack unlocks too. Like it was so stupid to lock our money. Why would I lock my money up with Godwell? Like I look at it now, I'm like, really, Corey, you locked your money with the biggest whale in the. Come on.
Well, one of the frustrating thing is that like the 2-year lockup, sure, it was dumb to lock it up with a crowd, but also like it wouldn't have been the worst timing for it to come out if Pulsechain would have launched when everybody thought it was going to, and if Liquid Loans would have been able to launch shortly thereafter. It's 2020.
It is what it is. And so there will be a portion probably of my portfolio that won't be able to exit during this bull market, and that I'll still have a stake in the game in the next
Yep.
market. Who knows?
Yeah, unfortunately so. All right, let me. Chris is asking, yeah, if you stake into a pool, I think he must be talking about PHUX. I'll pull it up.
Mm-hmm. What happened? The halving? You talking about the Bitcoin halving? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, nothing really happens. You just got to be careful on what you're, because obviously, like the Jeep pool. Let's take that for example, because that's an easy one. In the Jeep pool, you have a stable coin with a volatile asset, which I think it's the while you bring it up, Dan, I think it's the FUX token or the Fame token. I can't remember. Jeep. There it is. You have stable coins, FUX, and Pulse, and then DAI. So what happens there is if we were in a bull run, so that's what the Bitcoin halving can kind of usher us into, is full-blown bull run euphoria stage. Well, what's going to happen is that FUX and Pulse, you're going to lose your economic energy out of those two assets into the stable coins. So you're going to be left with the stable coins at the end of the movie. You're always left with the coin that is the least amount of value. Basically, you're selling your Pulse and FUX into the stable coins if the market were to run hard against you. So that is the biggest problem I see with any liquidity pools with stable coins. I don't participate in any liquidity providing with stable coins whatsoever. I do have the Apples pool. The Apples is I also like to call that the Motley pool because that's
PX pool, yeah.
Yeah, it's PX and Fiat, I do believe. Like two very volatile assets, two assets that could run hard. I have no idea which one's going to win at the end of the day. And it pays a great APY. So I do participate in that pool, and I'll continue participating a small, I'm talking about a small portion in that pool because I like those two assets. So I am participating there. And the Bitcoin halving, could it make it run hard? Yeah. Could one run over the other? It could, but there's no way of knowing, at least in my opinion, no way of knowing which one's going to run over the other. And they'll probably take turns. Like Fiat will be running hard one week, and then PHAS will be running hard another week. And who knows? Like we can't predict those things. So you're muted.
Thank you. Fast Abdul, yeah, feel free to provide more context to this one. So who is a buyer on day one of liquid loans? Literally, like, who's the buyer? You got all the potential interested parties in the sacrifice, or the majority of them. Everyone has seen how protocols that raised a ton of money have performed early. Who is the buyer? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was a person who locked 2 years, and I had no FOMO on buying day one. And I locked for 2 years, and I locked a pretty good chunk of change, unfortunately. But I have no interest in buying the LL token. Will I be using liquid loans as a protocol? Probably yes. I like what they're going to do and what they're at. I'll use the protocol. I just don't. I have no interest in buying the LL token, and I think it's an incorrect.
Yeah. I just we'll just have to disagree on this one. I hope you're right.
I hope you're right too. Yeah, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. We're just two dudes speculating on the internet. We have no clue. And I hope LL token does wonderful. The problem is, if you go look at the liquidity chart over on Ethereum, if you're trying to like use the frame of reference from when this is long before past, which it's just a fork of that token did freaking horrible. It's had its mini runs. I mean, it's done, I guess it had times where it did okay, but overall it's done horrible.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend my money somewhere else. Like, if you're going to tell me I'm going to buy the LL token over PX, you're crazy. I'd go buy PX. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. We hope it does great. Yeah. Have our doubts, though. Brett really wants to talk about PTGC. So we'll put it up here. I haven't. Have you paid? No, I'm not familiar either. So but here's one of my big takeaways from the bear market that I just like. It seems so stupid to say out loud, but I did not realize people want to come and sell these like narratives about how the supply is decreasing and look at people locking up. None of that stuff matters if there's no buyers. It doesn't matter at all. If there's no buyers, like it doesn't matter. And so, do these tokenomics matter in this one? I don't know. I'll have to do some more digging.
I'll give you an example of one of those, and that was the narrative. It was Pulse Dogecoin, not the original Pulse Doge. There's two Pulse Dogecoins. There's the original Pulse Doge that came out like way before Pulsechain, and it launched on BNB. And then there's the Pulse Dogecoin that they also did Pulse Bitcoin, and they did maybe that was it, the ASIC token, I guess, because that's what creates Pulse Bitcoin. But Pulse Dogecoin, what the narrative was, there was only I think it was only 3 million or 5 million in existence. And then when Pulse Coin launched, the way you got your ASIC tokens is you had to sacrifice your Pulse Dogecoin, and it burned it forever. And so the narrative was like Pulse Dogecoin was going to go to $100 a coin plus, because they burned like majority of the supply. I think there's only like 2 million Pulse Dogecoin left in existence. But look at the price chart. Wrecked. Completely wrecked. From the time the narrative was created and they were burning all the coins, sure, it had a pump during the time of the narrative when Pulse Bitcoin launched because of all that's how the FOMO works. I'm learning how this game works pretty well now. Then as soon as that narrative wore off, or the FOMO, it's just nothing but down to the right the whole entire time.
The whole PDI thing is the exact same thing. The bots are going to buy it up and make it pegged to $1. Man, it just doesn't matter. Yeah, it just doesn't. Jeff Abdul, I mean, we're hopeful, right? Love to be wrong.
This is true.
Totally wrong on this one.
He has a point there. Is when Liquid launched, it was like at the tail end of the bull market, and it was like going into the bear.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm excited. So the thing I keep asking myself,
I feel better than I feel about an intro.
Sure. I mean, one of the things I keep asking myself, I think NFTs are here to stay. I really do. There's just too much. There's just too much cool utility you can attach to NFTs. Like, they make so much sense in certain respects. I'm really curious to see the evolution of NFTs in the next bull run. I think people saw how almost all of it was useless and valueless. Frankly, like most of crypto, right? Like, who cares? Like, do people care about buying your artwork? Well, most people don't, unless they think they could flip it for more money. And so, like, I think the market gets more efficient every single cycle because people learn. And people learned, many of them the hard way about NFTs last go around, what worked and what didn't. So I'm interested to see the evolution of what NFTs bring. I'm not sure what that looks like. I don't know what to expect. But I think NFTs will play a big role, and I think NFT on Pulse, could be cool.
I like NFT and Pulse because those are the guys that did the NFT generator. Those are the same who also is the same people who was doing How to Pulse. You remember How to Pulse back in the day? That like the number one place you send people to learn about Pulsechain. That's them, same people. And so like that's why I like those guys. You know, J Money and all those. Those are really good guys over there, and that's why I bought some Crypto Bums. Crypto Bums gives you direct exposure into their ecosystem. You collect the fees, and it's not a lot. It's like 40% of whatever the fees that are done that they collect that gets distributed between all the Crypto Bums. And but the fees work. What I really like about it is that the Crypto Bums work like Watsas. So the Crypto Bum will collect your fees in Pulse, right? And it just started generating fees, growing in value in Pulse terms. And then when you want those fees or you want that money, you got to basically destroy the NFT, and you can get your money. And then everyone else's position in the Crypto Bums, your position just went up, and you're receiving more now. It's just exactly how Watsas work. That's where that game theory came from. And so it's kind of like a bit of a last man standing type ordeal with the Crypto Bums. And I like that. So I bought some, and it gave me direct exposure now to NFT generator. Will it do well? Who knows? I have no idea. Very speculative play. Very speculative. But I like it. And that's one of the ones I felt good about. And the Tang Gang is raving about it in the Twitter spaces. And those guys, man, they know how to shill some stuff.
They've done a good job on shilling. Yeah. Shout out to those guys. It's been impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I disagree on this one, Brett. Point in case was something like 9-inch, where there was a ton of liquidity initially. And what do the guys do? They extracted it all. So I don't care how much liquidity you have. Buy pressure is everything. We saw that with Hex, right? Like low liquidity, a lot of buy pressure, price up. I think we're all here with the hope for price up. And that's what I care about. So, like maybe I'm misunderstanding you, but I just don't think the key is liquidity. Yep. This is a cool take by Franklin. So Franklin worked at Circle, which if you guys aren't aware, but I think probably many of you are, is they are the company that issues the USDC stablecoin.
Yep.
And those guys, Franklin says that they're having meetings on NFTs. That's when he changed his mind about NFTs. So yeah, I think NFTs, it's pretty cool to see. I really like the design of the Watsas. I like
financial NFTs.
Yeah. Really cool design. Are they actually going to be worth something? Is Alex going to be able to pull something off to be able to make that stuff worth having? I don't know, but the design is cool. And this is just the beginnings. So I'm excited to see what the NFT space brings. I haven't seen anything that really blew my socks off yet. I got some of the 9mm NFTs. What were those ones called?
The Pulse OG guys. Yeah. Pulse OG.
I got some of those because it was cheap. It was so cheap to get a shark position in 9mm. And I thought that was a reasonable, like very speculative play. I was fine betting a small amount to see if something works out there. If Franklin, if you find something that knocks your socks off, send us a DM. We'd love to know about it. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, this is a fair take, Brett. Yeah, low liquidity. So there's a balance, right? There's a balance to be struck in liquidity. And I think, frankly,
that was Mitchell's problem.
Still is, right? Still is.
Yeah, they had no liquidity.
Yeah. So there's a balance, right? You want to have liquidity at right time. You want to have thicker liquidity at right times. You want to have lower liquidity at others to be able to manage the liquidity pools. And I think Richard's done a pretty good job of that, where we've seen, it's more liquid near the top of the bull run in Hex. So it's easier to get out. And then the liquidity has shrank, it's not real thick right now. And so it penalizes people that want to get out near the bottom worse. And so you want to incentivize buyers and sellers to do things based upon what they can and cannot pull out at any given time. And that's a job. It's a job in and of itself. We've seen things like 9inch, in my opinion, manage their liquidity terribly. And that price chart's just gotten destroyed. And people have been able to extract a lot of liquidity there. So that's a job. And it's not for many. There are not many that manage it well.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this. I agree. Yeah, Tetra and PHUX combos will be really fascinating. I'm excited to see things like Crypto Sloth and Nils for T-shares and Red Squirrel are going to build. Yeah, I'm really excited. In fact, it'll be really useful for no coiners. Like, imagine the value proposition. You guys know, like, if you try to freaking onboard somebody into DeFi that's a no coiner, it's painful. But imagine the value proposition if you're like, look, got the really cool strategies already pre-built. All you've got to do is come and put your, get some Pulse into this wallet, and then you plug plug your wallet into this what is it called? The sequence, or I'm not sure what they're going to be called on Tetra, but plug it in, you get the automatic strategy, and you're off to the races. That's huge. That's a really big deal.
Yep, it is. It is. I mean, I don't know how many times, guys, we've been at like real estate events and, we're selling them on to coming into crypto. And one of the biggest things are like, look, we have no time. How about I just give you $100K and you go do this for me? I'm like, no, I'm not going to take your money. It's not how this works. I will walk you through and hold you by the hand as you're doing it with your money, but I don't want your money. And this is like almost the next best thing where you could be like, look, I'm not going to take your money, but all we got to do is like load your wallet with that money, and we're going to plug into this protocol, and then you just go off and live your life. And all this protocol will do everything for you on your behalf. You can come in, check in on it every 3 or 4 months or whatever you want to do. It's almost just as good as them giving us their money and us doing it for them. It's like right there. So I really think this will be the next evolution for onboarding, especially for me and Dane, as we're talking to these real estate guys, because these guys are busy. They're entrepreneurs. They're running businesses. They don't have time to sit here all day long and do crypto the way me and Dane do. We love crypto, so we do this all day. We have a passion for it. But these guys don't. They just want to they want some exposure. They like the idea of passive income. They like the idea of this whole DeFi space, but they just don't want to all the work in. And NIST solves that problem.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, no, and you're not wrong on this, Brett, but that's the thing is like there was so much locked up that you didn't need as much liquidity available. And that's kind of like when you create a cryptocurrency, it's like your baby, it's your business. And one of your responsibilities is to manage the liquidity properly. If I was managing the Hex liquidity, if I was a big liquidity provider for Hex, you're not taking into factor Hex that's locked up for 15 years because nobody needs liquidity for that right now. That's one of the benefits. That's one of the benefits of Hex is frankly you don't want all the supply available to be dumped. And so, it could just be managed in certain ways. And most people have proven that they cannot manage it well.
Yep.
Cool, guys. Well, this has been a good show today. We appreciate you tuning in. Great commentary today, as always. We appreciate you guys and your ideas, even if we disagree. It's good to be able to see lots of different perspectives, help everyone fine tune their investment thesis. So we appreciate you guys. We really do. Yeah, we already talked about housekeeping stuff. We're not going to be here the rest of this week.
We won't be here. Yep. Thursday, Friday. We'll be out of town, hopefully onboarding some more people into the Pulsechain ecosystem. Would be nice if we could capture 50 more people, which is very, very plausible because we're going to be speaking on stage in front of 1,200 people, and we're going to be talking about crypto. And where do you think we take those guys? We don't take them into Cardano. We don't take them into Solana. We take them into Pulsechain. And so, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. Last trip of the year before going back home to Arizona too. So this will be good.
Yeah, it will be good. Well, cool. Thanks again, guys. Catch us next week. We'll see you then.
Peace, guys.